Hello, I'm Davina of sheepandstitch.com, and today we're going to learn how to seam together two pieces of stockinette stitch fabric. Okay, so these two swatches I've got here are in stockinette stitch, which means that they consist entirely of knit stitches. So when you look at a knit stitch, it looks like a little V shape, right? You've got a sea of V shapes in this stockinette stitch swatch. Okay, so when you look into one of these knit stitches and just push your needle in between the V shape that it makes, you'll find a little strand of yarn. It's like a little bar that's hidden inside your knit stitch. In all of these knit stitches, you'll see that when you go into the V, there's a little bar, right? So every one of these little V shapes has a little bar embedded in between the V's, right? So just go through your work and notice all these little bars that are in between the V shape of your knit stitch. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my needle and go into this bottom corner of my piece of fabric. Okay, and I'm going to go from the back to the front, as close as I can to the bottom corner. And then we're going to bring our yarn through. Perfect. All right. So now we are ready to work our mattress stitch, now that our two pieces are connected at the bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my needle into this V shape at the very bottom, and I'm going to find that little bar. So here it is. I've just picked out that bar through my little V shape of my knit stitch, and I'm going to bring my needle through. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to go into the other side of my fabric, and I'm going to find that little V shape on this side of my fabric, okay? So here we go. Here's my V shape that's at the bottom of my fabric, the very bottom, and I'm going to push my needle into that V shape. And here I've just found that little bar that's between the V shape of my knit stitch, and I'm going to pull it through. I'm going to bring my yarn through that V shape. Whoops. Here we go. Let's pull that through. Okay, so I'm not going to tighten it up just yet, okay, because I want you to see what's happening. All right, so now we're going to go back to this piece of fabric. I'm going to go into my next knit stitch, okay, and I'm going to pick out that little strand of yarn between my V shape, and here it is, okay? So I'm going to pull my yarn through. Perfect. And now I'm going to go to the other side of my fabric, bring my needle into that knit stitch, okay? So we're just kind of going right up, okay? So I'm going to push my needle through, find that little bar between my knit stitch, and we're going to pull our yarn through. Whoops. And this is just a tangle of yarn right now. So here, let's try and organize so it looks a bit cleaner. Perfect. Okay, so here we go. So now you can see we've got yarn that's connecting our two pieces of fabric, and I'm going to pull it tight in just a little bit, but let's work a few more of stitches. All right, so on this piece of fabric, we're going to go up again. Up one row, we've found that bar, and we're going to pull our yarn through. Perfect. Okay. And we're going to go over to this side, find that bar. Here we go. Here it is. And pull our yarn through. Perfect. So now you can see we've got seaming done between our two pieces of fabric. So now let's just pull it tight and see what it looks like, okay? So you can use your needle to help you out with this. I usually just like to pull it tight, okay, until our fabric looks pretty good. And let's see, here we go. All right, so now our yarn is pulled tight, and you can see that, you know, our fabric is joined together and it looks good. When we seam with mattress stitch, it gives us an almost invisible looking seam. So you can see here, the way that we've seamed it up, our two pieces of fabric are joined in such a way that we get what looks like a knit stitch, right? These little V shapes. This is pretty much how mattress stitch works. As you continue working mattress stitch to seam, it's a good idea to just look at your fabric and make sure it's lining up, right? That one side isn't taller than the other side, that they both look pretty even. Okay, I'm going to continue seaming this up. So now I'm finished seaming up my two pieces of fabric, and you can see it looks really awesome, right? I mean, our seam is pretty much invisible. You can barely see it. our seam is complete. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and that you learned something. And if you did, then I'd love it if you liked this video and if you subscribe to this channel. And of course, check out sheepandstitch.com where we've got patterns, news, giveaways, yarn, and knitting kits, and all kinds of knitting geekery. Alright, that's it for me. I'm Davina of sheepandstitch.com. Thanks for watching and happy knitting!